Hi everyone. So today I'm going to make a fall arrangement for by my back door on the house. Now I'm going to use what I can find around here and use that to design this pot. I am going to use the brown because I think it's more festive for fall. It's a very large pot. It has no holes in it because sometimes I use it for a waterfall. So I will be watering these plants sparingly. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to steal that big canna out of that pot and put it into this one. So that's step one. So let's get at it. Super duper easy because the canna was pot bound, surprisingly. So I'm just going to leave it as is, and I've got it in there. I'm not going to add any more dirt, so you can see that there's gaps around the edges. But I'm going to use those gaps around the edges to my advantage because I am going to use it to put some other arrangements around it. I may put in some dirt after, but we'll see how this goes. So first thing I need to do is I need to move this darn thing closer to the house because I'm at the back of the yard. So this should be a challenge because it's fairly heavy, and it took all my strength just to pull it out of that pot and throw it into this one. But it's a good solid pot and the coloring's perfect. So now I'm going to lift it into my wagon and haul it up to the house. Okay, so I made it to the house. Now to add some more stuff to it. I'm thinking corn husks. So let's go get some corn. So it just so happens I have some corn here. This is ornamental corn I planted really late, and quite honestly, it's not worth anything. I don't think the cobs are any good. So I'm going to take some of these and use them in the arrangement. Now they're pretty green, but we'll let them dry in the arrangement. So I'm going to take quite a few to fill in those gaps around the pot. So I'm going to just start cutting these, and I'm going to leave the corn on the cobs. I might check the odd one here or there just to see what I got. They were the ornamental. They were not regular corn. So they were just, I was going to use them for decorating, but I was just too slow getting them in this year. But anyhow, they did pretty good, and I got some good height here for making an arrangement. Okay, so while I'm working on this, Rob is starting the barbecue because we're going to have some beautiful steak for supper. What kind of steak are we having?
New York.
We're having New Yorks with yams and potatoes, and he's having some rice and maybe a salad or something. Yum, yum, yum. All right, so now I've got the stalks here, and they're pretty darn tall, so I'm going to have to decide how they're going to fit into this pot. Rob lifted actually up on the steps. I don't think I could manage it any other way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and put the corn around the edges and see if I can fit it in, and then we'll have another look at it. It's going to be a lot of green initially. So you can see this is where the challenge begins because I've got, okay, this is a really big one. So I'm just plopping them in along the edge. Like I said, it's just for an arrangement and to make a statement. And I might have to rearrange them again, but you can kind of see how I'm doing this. And this one I thought was a good one. It's got some purple in it. Now I might have to take off some lower leaves after I get this all in here, because like I said, oh my goodness, I inhaled probably the barbecue fumes. It's pretty wild right now, but we'll see how it goes. I do have some other ideas up my sleeve, but I wanted a big arrangement, and like I said, I might have to take some of these out. I did have an idea to fit some geraniums and stuff in there, but it might not work. Okay, so we got one more, and I'm gonna scoot that one in the back here. All right. So let's stand back and see how this is looking. That is wild and leaning. Let me spin this pot around. Looking better already. Okay. Now, I left my butterfly there because I like the colors, and I think that works by the door. Let's fluff these out a little bit. Like I said, I'm just doing this freeform. There's no rhyme or reason for how I'm doing this. I'm just, I'm winging it, you guys. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right, I like the look of that better. What happens if I spin it one more time? No. I mean, we got lots of colored stock here, and we have room down there. But kind of think I liked it off to the angle. Because, I mean, I want it to be abstract, right? All right, now let's go and find stuff around the yard to add color. And I'm going to move my water fountain because it kind of distracts from the geraniums and the potato vine out of the pots just to see if there's something there I can make work. Like I said, I'm not definite on anything yet. I'm just going to try some things and pull some things together. Hopefully this doesn't end up looking like more of a fall, spring kind of thing, because these geraniums are still pretty nice, but the color is not right. This one I could get away with the coral, but that hot pink, yeah, not so much. But that orange, yes, that would work. So let me see if I can get it out of the pot. Okay, so I shoved the geranium in here and I put it in a pot. You can see, so it's fit in there just like that to give it the orange color that I needed. I need that first. So now I'm going to trim up some of these leaves and clean this up, because really it's beyond tropical. Like, there's no room for me to fit some stuff in. So I've got my pruners here, and I'm gonna go in here and take out some of these cornstalk leaves. I might build, well, some of the cannas. We'll start with that and make it simple. There, that's better. I mean, these cannas are getting near end of life, you guys, so it doesn't hurt to, you know, take them down. I like leaving the twisty leaf and leave that. But I'm going to take this lower one off. There, that's better. And snip this off, make it look good. See, now we're seeing some color here. I do have a really humongous leaf here. I'm just going to go in and snip that. And I mean, this is just for aesthetics. These cannas are done. It's that time of year, and you know, make them look good all the way around. You know, so I'm not afraid to give it a haircut. Let's put it that way. Now my pruners obviously need to be sharpened. Oh my goodness, they're bad. It's that one leaf. Holy Toledo. One thing about corn stalks is they are there. Ha! We'll do it the hard way. Not exactly. There, that's better. Okay, so clean that up. We got some dirt on the leaves here. Let's see what we got now. I think this leaf here is overhanging, but it gives it a really natural look. Let's stand back and look at it. You guys, that's one big arrangement. It's kind of leaning funny. I'm going to have to rearrange it in the back, but you can kind of see what's going on here. Now, I've got some color in the front. Let's shove some more color in, and I may rearrange again to make this work. Like that, got a feeling that geranium might end up coming out yet, but we'll see. So I had these coral bells sitting around that I'm going to put in the garden after, and these heucheras are good to -40, and they're just gorgeous. So I am going to use them, you guys, and see how I can fit them in here. And I'm going to need to stand these up somehow. This is where we improvise, where we bring in something to elevate things and pick a pot that we know. There we go. Take there's some pretty color. Oh, that looks good, you guys. It sits in there perfectly. All right. Now, let's see here. So I'm only going to have this facing one side. So I've got to do some adjusting here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just straightening out these stalks. Just stand up a little bit better. I've got a shorty in the back there, and I probably should move it. Set that there. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take this big guy here, because I want it to be just viewed from the front. Sorry, you guys. There. And then I'm going to put the shorty, because I need the leaf structure, right here. There we go. And then I'm going to lean that pot a bit more. There we go. All right, you can see how it's coming now. That looks better. It looks more uniform. So I'm going to push it back now and away from the door. Okay, so I got it rearranged, and I got the butterfly back there. It's a debate on the butterfly, you guys, but we'll see where this ends up. It's away from the doorway now. Now, can I fit anything else in here? This thing is jammed packed. Got a little canna coming up there. I might be able to fit another heuchera in there. We're gonna give it a go. Round out the color. Yeah. Okay. I can see that pot a bit. And I want to see the pot. Okay. So we got more purple and we're more balanced. Now, I need to add some stuff in here. Let me see here. What can I do? Turn it a bit more. Okay, let's see how it looks. A little more centered. Yeah, she's centered. Got a pop of orange there. Now, and I can see a gap there. Let's hide that gap. So I have a table here of stuff from the garden, and I'm going to use some of it. I just need to pop some color in. Doing this one-handed, you guys, oops, is not the easiest. Okay, let's get this back where it needs to be. You can see the pop of color, the huge difference it makes around the pot. But now I need to add some more branches in along the edge. You can see that it needs something there, but the colors are coming together. So I'm just going to cut some more branches to fit in there. Okay, I'm going to take a few branches, just some little ones off of here for this arrangement as well, because I want some of the color of the leaves in here. So we're going to take them fairly short. And I need a haircut anyhow, right? I'd take 3 to be safe, so I have something to work with. Save me a trip back. My knee's getting pretty sore. All right, any more of the burning bush branches in here. And one leaf there that was kind of hanging. And you can see kind of the color scheme I have going. You might find you just want to rearrange it just a little bit there. That looks better. All right, so now let's make some designs around the bottom. So I have a whole bunch of heucheras, and I'm just going to line them up around there, and then I am going to put some pumpkins and stuff in there, some gourds and stuff that I have left over from the garden. So I'll just place all the coral bells. So now the coral bells are all placed. I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 around it, just to skirt it. And now let's add some designs in here. Let's add the color. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place the big pumpkin right in here, just amongst the plants. And you're going to see that this pumpkin is going to be the death of me, because he has a mind of his own. and I want him to show. So there may be some manipulation that has to happen there. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and maneuver them around. So I've placed the gourds and the pumpkins around it, and with the heucheras, it's looking really, really good. Now it needs one more thing, you guys, and what do I always say? We need a touch of whimsy, and that butterfly isn't enough. So let me see if I can find something that I already have for the touch of whimsy. All right, and for the touch of whimsy, I added a butterfly. It offsets the butterfly on the wall over there, and it is here. The only problem is it's a bit of a pink tone, but I think that's okay. So all in all, I'm going to stand back and let you guys see what I have created here. So now you can see the arrangement in full against the house, and now I'm going to step down off the steps and then I'll show you what it looks like from a distance. All right, you can see what it looks like from a distance. I'm just going to zoom in, zone in, and you can see it is done. So that's how it looks. I think it looks pretty fabulous, you guys. So that cost me basically nothing because I'd already bought the heucheras or the corbels. I grew the pumpkins and stuff, so the seed for the pumpkins and the gourds. I had the butterfly for multiple years, so it's paid for itself. The corn stalks are from seed, and the canna, well, it was like a rhizome. So it's all stuff that I've used in the yard. Same with the pot. And the geranium I reused from one of my pots. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a challenge. You know, I think the hardest thing out of that whole thing was getting that darn butterfly to stand up properly in that container. It really didn't want to stand the way I wanted it to. But I'm really, really happy with how this looks against the house. It needed something in that spot now that my hanging baskets and that are down. And it needed some color. So going and buying a few cheap plants, and if you don't get them in the ground, putting them around a pot and making an arrangement is cool. And then when you're ready to put them in the ground, you can go ahead, take them and put them in the ground, and you're good. Now to water this, I'll water it through the center just to keep the canna going, and the geranium. And as well for the heucheras, they'll just be watering the little pots because they're all in the pots, and the geranium's in a pot now too. So that makes it super darn easy to look after. And considering our weather is cooler, although this week we're having a bit of a hot spell, surprisingly, it should be really, really easy to maintain. And I watered them all prior to putting them in here because I watered them actually the other day, keeping them going. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's a little bit of creativity for you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm gonna go have some supper now. Bye.